Hey friends, welcome to Gizmofest, and this is the long-term review of the iPhone 7. So I have been using this phone for about 2 years now. So the latest iPhone 10, 10s Max and 10R are out now. So it's a good time maybe to consider a budget option, which is the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus. If you want to go for the iPhone 7 Plus, you will get an additional secondary camera and a bigger battery and a bigger display, of course. So as you can see, the phone has held up pretty well. There are absolutely no dents on this one. However, it has just got a little bit of scratches, just minor ones, nothing something major. If you're planning to use this phone for long term, you should have no problems here. Just be careful if you're getting the jet black version because it gets scratched very easily. So I would prefer if you go for the matte black or the golden or the silver color. The fingerprint scanner works really fast. It takes about half a second when you press the home button. The phone weighs only 138 grams and has a dimension of 7.1 mm thickness. The internal storage is 32 GB only. It runs out of space pretty fast. So if you can spend some extra bucks, I would suggest you invest in the 128 GB variant. Regardless of storage options, the phone comes with a 2 GB RAM. The phone has held up pretty well. All the buttons, including the power button, the volume keys or the silence switch, work as good as new. It is also IP67 rated, which means dust and water resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. Also, you will not get any headphone jack here. Hit the subscribe button to never miss any video on Gizmofest. The phone has a 4.7 inches LED backlit IPS LCD display. The viewing angles are very good and the resolution is 750 by 1334 pixels, which results into a pixel density of 326 pixels per inch. The display is sharp enough and has a good sunlight legibility. As you can see, this video is being shot outdoors, but even then the display is perfectly visible. The colors are very good and balanced and not too saturated. In my times of usage, I have not experienced any issues with the display like dead pixels or screen flickering or anything like that. The iPhone 7 has two speakers. The earpiece doubles as the secondary speaker, whereas the bottom firing speaker is the primary speaker. Both these speakers combined give a very good stereo effect. Check it out for yourself. Max, on the other hand, has the advantage of having a depth sensor on its front. Moving on to the primary cameras, OnePlus 6 has a 16 megapixel f1.7 aperture primary camera and a 20 megapixel f1.7 aperture telephoto camera. In my usage, I was getting about 1 day of battery backup on a single charge. It might be more or less depending on your usage. If you do a lot of gaming, you might be looking for a charger before the end of the day. But if you are more into casually checking social networks, making some calls, having LTE always on, even then you might get 1 day of battery usage easily. The battery capacity is a 1960 mAh. Apple says that after 2 years of usage, the phone should have around 80% of battery health. In my case, I have 83% of battery health, which means that the battery will only charge to 83% of 1960 mAh. There is also a low power mode which will help you squeeze more out of your remaining battery. It will reduce the background data usage and reduce some animations to get more battery time. The CPU is Apple A10 Fusion. It got 3370 in single core score and 5511 in multi-core score in Geekbench. The phone is upgradable to iOS 12. Things run pretty fast here. Everything is smooth. Animations are very smooth. I have not experienced the phone slowing down because of the operating system. It will also continue to get software updates in the near future. So in this part, I am going to compare the iPhone 7 with the iPhone XS Max in terms of size and usability. The iPhone 7 Plus has almost the same physical dimensions as of the iPhone XS Max. So immediately you can notice that the iPhone 7 is so much user friendly when it comes to one-handed usage. Even the display of the XS Max is bigger than the entire physical footprint of iPhone 7. Comparing the performance of iOS 12 on both the devices, you can see that both these devices are almost identical. If you compare side by side, it doesn't seem that the iPhone 7 is lagging or in any way stuttering. Definitely, performance is not an issue on the iPhone 7 in terms of OS and hardware. The iPhone 7 features 3D Touch, which is an additional layer to interact with the OS, particularly in situations of increasing or decreasing the brightness or increasing the intensity of flash. It really works very well. It gives you a haptic feedback also, so you know that the 3D Touch is working. The iPhone 7 has a single 12 megapixel camera. It also has HDR, so you can enable or disable it. Also has live photos. I would recommend keeping HDR on all the times for taking better pictures from both the front and the rear camera. The camera interface is really simple. You can swipe left or swipe right to change camera modes. There are plenty of camera samples at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Because of the 6-core graphics, the iPhone 7 breaks no sweat in heavy graphic intensive games. Even if you set the graphic settings to a maximum, the phone does not have any issues. It performs really smoothly. Although keeping the highest graphic settings can impact your battery life. This is the rear camera video recording sample, and we are recording at 4K at 30 frames per second. The camera quality is good here. Optical image stabilization is doing a good job of keeping the video stable. Even while panning, you can see the camera retains its smoothness. The front camera can record full HD videos, that is 1080p at 30 fps. Resolution of the front camera is 7 megapixels. In daylight, there is good amount of details in the video. The camera performance is really good here. Both the dark and the bright areas are well exposed. The front camera loses a lot of details in the white background, which can be reduced by turning on the HDR mode. It retains a lot of details in the background and improves the picture quality. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and share it with your friends.